like to share with you a recent development we had here at Citadel Fiduciary, and I'm sure you'll find it very interesting. Citadel decided to host a fiduciary tax workshop discussing the future taxation of trusts. And we thought of this mainly due because of the uncertainty about the taxation of trust that's currently in South Africa. For most tax practitioners and trust practitioners, it's very uncertain times, as nobody really can understand what and how we need to plan around and administrate issues around trust and tax at the present moment. So the whole drive behind this thinking was then to invite some key players in the current market and have a very respected Professor van Westhuizen facilitating the process of discussion between lawyers and accountants to find a good understanding of where the taxation of trusts is going. There's a lot of speculations, and there's some drastic changes that they would want to make, which was alluded to last year in the budget. Some of them are things like the flow-through principle for trusts, which really all just mean is a trust is like a long pipe, so what goes in at the top comes out at the bottom, and a shorter version of this. So for example, if dividends come in the top and are distributed through, it comes out as a dividend. Now, if you're not a tax practitioner, all this really means is that if you can retain something's nature, you will have the same tax treatment, which is a massive benefit at the moment for trusts and their beneficiaries. So it's all these issues, whether they want to keep that or dramatically change that, whether that will come into the fray. Now, after that initial announcement in the budget last year, we all got very excited. Then it all went quiet. So now we're here later after that quietness, and we all still wonder what is going to happen with taxation of trust. The latest tax bill came out in December, and there was nothing in that bill that's being alluded to it. So hence the tax workshop. Professor van Westhuizen was brilliant. He guided us through all the pros and the cons and the histories, where the trust law arisen from, the current taxation treatment, and it was very interesting to get the input of everybody in this discussion. But the outcome of that is still, unfortunately, there is uncertainty. But in that uncertainty, there was a sense of certainty, as one thing that he did raise, which I thought made perfectly sense, is that if they were to address the current taxation of trusts, what is one important thing that they will have to do is to bring it in line with the taxation of other type of entities like a company. If you're going to take the flow-through principle away, what might happen, and this is just an educated guess, is that they might change the rate of taxation and trust to be a line of companies. In other words, at the moment, trusts are taxed at 40%, a company is at 28%. So maybe what they could do is then take the flow-through principle away and then simply adjust the tax rate to 28%. So you basically have different structures to trade in, whether it be a trust, a company, as individual, CC, your options are there, but the rates are similar. So hence you address that mischief. So for me, from the most practical solution, this will be a nice route to go.